Every leader wants to be appreciated. Every leader wants his or her hard work to be appreciated, to be rewarded, indeed, to be celebrated. And so a leader looks forward to that. But therein lies a word of caution. A word of caution is instructive. When leaders look to be celebrated, when they look to be rewarded, when they look to their followers to appreciate them, a word of caution is instructive. That word of caution is what I want to speak about briefly this morning on Leadership Monday. So welcome to Leadership Monday, and I'll be speaking on the subject, stop fooling yourself. Stop fooling yourself. I am saying that from a leadership standpoint. Dear leader, don't fool yourself. You said why? You said, what am I talking about? In a minute, we'll get on to the substance of what I have for you today. This is Leadership Monday. My name remains Olatunji Shobodu, your uncle. Okay, very quickly, let me just take us to a word of caution that, I've taken away from that great book, that good book, Our Source of Truth. You know that at Emet Leadership Academy, which brings you this stream, we nurture leaders based on truth. We nurture leaders based on truth. Our commitment in that regard is unwavering. And where do we find the truth? We find the truth from the Word of God. So let me quickly draw your attention to something that will help you as a leader, something that will help you, an attitude that God brings to bear in his relationship with us. It will help you a great deal. It will help to ensure that the relationship that a leader has with a follower is healthy and is kept so at all times. What am I talking about? Come with me to Matthew 15 and verse 8. And you're wondering, what does Matthew 15 verse 8 say? I'll read it for you very quickly. And Jesus here was talking to the Pharisees. He was talking to leaders of his time, the predominant or the prominent leadership of his time. And they shared a common characteristic. So this statement starts, with the fond way that he categorized them, that he referred to them. He said, hypocrites. Let me back up. I'm starting from verse 7. So Matthew 15, starting from verse 7, I'll read just verses 7, maybe even up to 9. It says, hypocrites. Well, did Isaiah prophesy about you, saying, verse 8 now, these people draw near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But their heart is far from me. Verse 9 says, in vain they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of man. Teaching as doctrine the commandments of man. This was the attitude of God, of a leader, of Jesus, to certain categories of people who try to celebrate him, who try to make him feel good, who try to show as though they were appreciative of what he was doing for them. He said, they are a bunch of hypocrites. He said, why are they a bunch of hypocrites? He said, they honor me with their lips. He said, but their heart is far from me. What he's saying is that they speak good to my hearing. They suggest that they are appreciative of the work that I'm doing. But when you truly know their heart, you know that they don't mean any of the things that they're saying. They don't mean any of the things they are saying. They are just a bunch of deceitful people. A bunch of deceitful people. People, who, and you will meet them as a leader. They are members of your team. The so-called people, some people will say they are eye service people. All right. Some people will refer to them as those people that just say the things that you want to hear. But it's a naive, an immature, an inexperienced, a bad leader who would be swayed by the words, great words, celebratory words from the lips of the followers. It's a very important counsel here. It's very important that a leader is sensitive not to get carried away with the praise of his people. Your ability to deliver on your mandate as a leader has nothing absolutely to do with the praise of your people. In fact, the more your people celebrate you, the more you should be put on notice that you are not doing what you should be doing. Why do we say that? Because leadership, to follow, as I have spoken, about in some of my previous broadcasts, particularly recently, following is hard work. Following is demanding. Following is not convenient for the follower. If people are following you and having fun at doing it, you are not doing leadership right. If they are not experiencing discomfort, if they are not experiencing times when they feel like pushing back against your instructions, against your directives, you are not doing leadership right. And in particular, you are not leading by the truth. I've spoken about the truth. I understand the place of truth when it comes to doing leadership right. I've written a book on it. You can check out the book. Does this offend you? I was talking about the truth in that book, that a leader must lead based on the truth. A leader must have zero tolerance for truth. A leader, all right, differentiates himself based on the truth that he or she is committed to. But guess what? It is about the truth. The truth is bitter. Your people, the right kind of people to follow you, will push back against the truth. All right? The people who can handle it will walk away. Now, for those that push back, they will still stay because they understand it's for their benefit. So the truth is inconvenient, but they understand it's for their benefit. So they embrace it. So if anyone is following you as a leader and they're having fun at doing so, you are not doing it right. The chances are you are not leading on the basis of truth. So leadership is not piece of cake. So you have to be careful when people begin to celebrate you, when they begin to say great, nice things about you. All right? Don't fool yourself. It's not an indication that they are following you, strangely so, because it may well be deceit. And more often than not, it is deceit. And it's also not an indication that you are doing leadership right. No. No, those are not the indications. What you should be celebrating is their obedience to your instruction. What you should be celebrating as a leader is their commitment to learning from you. What you should be celebrating is what you see, all right, in their character. How much of you is showing up in their character. He said, these people, they honor me with their lips. They pretend that they are drawn to me, that they are following me. Said, but when you look at their heart is far from me. They are not here. They are not with me. They are going through the motions. If they continue like this, my efforts are being wasted on them because I won't see result in them. Why? Their heart is not committed. Their heart is not committed. And what is it that a leader, a true leader, one who knows his onions as a leader, really needs from his or her people? What do they really need? What do they really need? What does a leader, what is a leader crying? The heart of a leader, what is he crying out for from every follower? And I'll tell you what it is. And that's what was pointed out in that scripture. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes observe my ways. My son, give me your heart. That is a very important secret that Solomon let out in the book of Proverbs. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes observe my ways. Proverbs 23 and verse 26. My son, give me your heart. That is, a leader must always be looking at the heart of those who are following, not listening to their mouth, not listening to their words, not getting overtly excited by the good things that they are saying. No, that helps no one. That does not help a smart leader. That does not help one who knows what leadership is about. What a leader pays attention to is the heart. That's why God is a smart leader. He said, God does not look at what you and I do. Forget the facade. God looks beyond the facade. Why? Because he understands this, that you and I can pretend. So he goes beyond that to examine the heart. He said he looks at the heart. He looks at the heart. The state of our heart is what he's looking at. Is what he's looking at. That's what a leader wants. Because when you give the leader your heart, that means you are fully committed to following the leader. That means, therefore, that you have given the leader the license to influence your life accordingly. That is substance, not form. That is helping the leader to deliver his mandate. It's serious business. It's serious business. And some leaders are looking to be celebrated. They get excited. They want to hear the nice things that people are saying. You are either a baby in this calling called leadership, or you are simply not matured. No, you shouldn't celebrate that. You are not doing leadership. You are not a leader because you want to be praised. No. If you are praised, fine. If it's from their heart, excellent. But it doesn't move you. And it shouldn't move you. Because the one who rewards the leader is not the follower. Is not the follower. So it doesn't matter what they say. All right? If anything, like we have said, you want them to be discomforted because that's an indication that you're doing something right. So you need to be careful. Don't fool yourself when you hear great words, flowery words, flattery words from your people. Don't fool yourself as a leader. Rise above that. It doesn't mean a thing. The chances are that is deceit that is playing itself out. You can ask me, how do you then know that your follower has given them your heart? It's simple. How do you know? We are told to give your heart is to love the leader. What is the evidence of love for anyone is your commitment to obeying their instructions. Notice, it's not just obeying, your commitment to obeying their instructions. Because you can obey. I can do what you ask me to do, but I'm not doing it out of excitement. I'm not doing it I'm doing it to fulfill our righteousness. No, that's not love. Love isn't fulfilling our righteousness. All right? Love is committed obedience to what you are teaching, committed obedience, embrace to your corrections, to the instructions you are given on how to do things right, to the discipline that you mete out, commitment to your obedience. That's what love is. Love is not, all this emotional stuff we're talking about. No. It said, the one who keeps my commandment is the one who loves me. The one who obeys my commandments is the one who loves me. Love is expressed in your committed obedience. All right? Even excited, though hard. Peter said to Jesus, when Jesus told him, after he had toiled all night and he didn't catch anything, he told him, he said, let's go down into the deep and there let down your net for a catch. Peter said, sir, we have toiled all night and we didn't catch anything. He said, but nevertheless, what was Peter saying? He said, nevertheless, at thy word, I will let down the net. What was Peter saying? Peter was saying, sir, I won't lie to you. This instruction is not convenient, sir. I have been at this matter throughout the night. But well, because you have said it, and I know who you are, and I believe in what you are saying, I will do it. That is an expression of love. It was a commitment on his part. It was yielding, setting aside his own thinking, all that he has experienced, and doing exactly the will of the master. It was not convenient. It was hard for him to do. The man had not rested from all the fruitless toil of the night. He was here to rest. They had just come back. They were washing their net. And this man came again and said, who is the owner of this boat? Push it outside. Let me use it for a while. So the guy was tired. And this leader was still issuing instructions. And thankfully, this guy was sensitive and he was sincere. And he followed with a committed heart. And look at what the result was. So that's the way it is. I'm going to close today by speaking to something else. The same Peter, look at, to show that this leader and this business of leadership is you have to do it dispassionately, in the sense that you are operating based on clear principles. You're not flying blind with people following you. What happened? On one occasion, Peter, and this was after this first example I've given, on one occasion, what did Peter say? Peter, the master, the leader, was telling him, this is what's going to happen to me. I'm going to go through some very rough patch. They're going to arrest me. They're going to mess me up. They're going to hang me. I'm going to die. All right? But I would resurrect thereafter. Now, Peter said to him, on behalf of all his colleagues, he pulled him aside. He pulled the leader aside and scolded him. Said, don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. You are not going to die. Stop talking like that. That's nonsense talk. And that's my own addition. But that was what Peter was saying. Now, it would seem like Peter was concerned for the master. It would seem like Peter was pursuing the interest of the master. All right? I mean, a master says, or a leader says, I'm going to go through some tough patch, it's tough. I mean, the natural side of you, the emotional side of you wants people to pacify you, to say it's not going to happen, don't worry, and all of that stuff. You know what this leader did? This leader looked at him and he said, "Get behind me, Satan." I always say jokingly, I mean, I don't know which leader can speak to anybody like that today and they won't get very upset. He says, "So you are calling me Satan because, I'm looking out for your interests." Jesus looked at Peter as a leader and said to him, a foremost member of his team, said, "Get behind me and stop talking nonsense there. I don't want to hear the nonsense you are talking about." He wasn't fooling himself. He was a leader. He knew his onions. Said, "Get behind me. You are not the one talking. That influence talking is trying to corrupt, your destiny. And be careful. Otherwise, you won't get anything from following me." I'm paraphrasing all of that. That's what he said to him. He wasn't fooling himself. So stop fooling around as a leader and expecting people to say good things about you, expecting people to celebrate you. That's not leadership. It has absolutely nothing to do with whether you are doing leadership right or not. The chances are that the heart of the people, they are far from you. They're only playing with their lips. Or at the extreme, they're ignorant. Like was the case with Peter. He was ignorant. He was ignorant. And the master told him, he corrected him so that he would understand why he reacted that way. He said, "Look, there's an influence that is trying to play around with your mind. And that's the influence I'm dealing with. That influence only celebrates worldly things that have no ability to add value to your life." He said they never celebrate spiritual things or heavenly things. And you shouldn't allow that to take over your mind. That's the lesson. So again, there's a lesson there. When you react to your people, don't leave there without an explanation. Otherwise, you look as if you don't appreciate them. You look as if you are hard on them. You look as if, there's something that they have done that is, just completely out of the ordinary. So I hope that you're getting this very salient aspect of leadership. That if you get swayed by the sweet and the smooth talk of your people, seemingly celebrating your competence, your ability and all of that, you're going to lose it as a leader. Jesus was told, wow, what wisdom is this? Jesus was described, they were astonished. All right, all manner of reactions. He never allowed it to get into him. No. He never allowed it to get into him. Do you know what he said to a lady that said to him, a lady made a statement to him and said, something like, "Blessed, all right, is the womb that bore you and the breast that gave you pap and the breast that you sucked." All right. The woman said that. Why do you think that woman said that? The woman was impressed by what he saw. That are there people like this? That's what she said. Seemingly, I mean, you and I will get swollen headed by that kind of statement if we don't know what we're doing. But do you know what Jesus said? Promptly. He promptly responded to her, and said, "No, that's not the way it is." He said, "Blessed are those who hear the words that I am saying and obey it." That one is a lesson in leadership by itself. That's the summary of of the nugget I'm delivering today. Do you know what he was saying? He said, woman, I'm not swayed by sweet talk. Those things you are saying, they don't mean much to me. This leadership thing is not about me or how well I'm doing it or how well you believe I'm doing it. It's about you and your commitment to what I say, to what you learn from me. Wow. Wow. Your leadership will make a difference when you have that understanding. When you come to the role with that attitude, you can't fail as a leader, because you know what is superficial and you put it in its place. You don't allow it to affect you. You know what is substance, all right? And that's what you focus on. That's what you channel your efforts towards. That's what you channel your efforts towards. I'm going to have to stop here this morning, but I do hope that there's something that you have picked up this morning and that it will help you in your leadership role, that it will make a difference in how you do leadership. All right? These are very salient but very instructive. Focus on the heart of the people. Look beyond what they are saying. Chances are that what they are saying is flattery. Chances are they don't mean what they are saying. Some of them don't know what they are saying in relation to what your mandate is as a leader. But you need to focus them on what is important. You need to focus on their heart. You need to encourage them to have their heart in following you, because that's the only way they're going to benefit from you. That's the only way anyone who wants to celebrate you will truly celebrate you, to line themselves up to benefit from you by way of influence. And that's my nugget for today. We have been speaking on the subject. Don't let followers fool you. I'm sure when you started listening, if you had that title, you'll be wondering, how can followers fool you? Followers fool many leaders by speaking kind words to them, by paying lip service, eye service, sycophancy, never meaning in truth or even understanding, those flowery words of flattery that they're speaking about their leader, and certainly having their hearts far away from the leader. Having their hearts far away from the leader. Don't get caught in that trap as a leader. If you get caught in that trap, your ability to affect your people is neutralized. You become ineffective as a leader. And so don't complain when you don't get results, because that's the consequence. Let's learn from the wisdom of God here. Is the truth. And from all I've said, I'm sure you know, if you're a true leader, that there are people like that you come across. You must know how to deal with them, where to put them. Otherwise, you will remain a hypocrite like them. You remain a hypocrite like them. My last word on the subject of today is this. One of the things that a leader does is to drive out hypocrisy from the lives of followers. And if a leader is a hypocrite, you can't succeed in doing that. The hypocrisy of people who follow you will express itself in them saying what they don't believe about you, just to make you feel good. And that will derail your leadership. It will make you ineffective. It will make you a hypocrite like them. So rather than you making them, they will be making you through words of flattery and deceit. And that will be a shame. The tables must not be turned against the leader. The leader must be in charge, call the shots. And you can only do that by having good understanding. By having good understanding. So you see, leadership is not something you just come to and just carry, you just don't adorn it. You just don't adorn it. You learn because there are principles. There are principles. And it's not about religion, even though we draw our inspiration from the truth. All right, so that's it for today. Very quickly, let me draw your attention to programs. Like I said, I'm having elaborate programs that will benefit you. If you have gained from these few minutes, imagine spending more time with me on one or two of my programs. Now, there is the program, The New You. The New You. The New You is a program that lets you understand that there is one relationship that can make you. There is a relationship that can make you. And if you don't have that relationship, is the reason that you're broken. You want to find out about that relationship. You want to find out why it is so important for you to have. You want to find out how to get into that kind of relationship so you can take advantage of it. You need to take that 7-module masterclass. Don't worry. You don't need to sit down in a class. It's not live. All right. It's 7 modules, but they are relatively short modules. But it will walk you through something very important. It will shape a new you for greater results. You want to achieve greater results? They won't come by remaining who you are now. Until you change, until you add more to yourself, until you take away certain things from yourself now, you cannot get and you will not get better results than what you are getting now. The results you are getting now they are the best that you can get now. If you want a change, you want to improve, you must add more, you must change. All right. The prerequisite for achieving new things, greater things, is that you don't remain the same. When you change who you are will deliver the new things. That's part of what you would find out from that program. So it's something that if you register it, there are videos that I've recorded, 7 of them. They will walk you through at your own time, your own convenience, and you have access to those videos, I believe, for a year. So check it out. That's what is scrolling on the screen right now. You can see the link there, oshobodu.seller.co/new you. You go there. Once you're done with registration and payment, then the videos, you start getting the videos on a daily basis over the course of the next 6 days. And after you have gone through all of them, if you want to have a personal session with me, like a coaching session, to further consolidate on your learnings, to have your questions answered, to help you, all right, to apply what you have learned to yourself, you can also, at the point of registration, book a 1-hour session, coaching, one-to-one personal coaching session with me, and we'll help you out in that regard. The second program, which is about to be sent out there, to be released, is what I call the antidote. All right, antidote. Beat those recurring odds. What are we talking? Who is this for? There are people who are doing the right things, all right, in the pursuit of their goals, but they are not getting the right results. They are not getting the results they expect. They are not getting the results that they can celebrate. Their results are disappointing. You say, why is that? Yes, it is possible for you to do the right things and not get the right results. I say, why is that the case? How can that be? Well, you should know that the one who is the fastest doesn't always win the race. The one who is the strongest does not always win a battle. Why is that the case? Because there is some other factor. They are called the odds against the success. They work against people. All right? They work against people. So many people fail in their pursuits because those odds work against them. But it's really because they don't have the capacity to contend with those odds successfully. What does the Bible tell us? It said, if you fall in that day of adversity, your strength is small. So let me show you the antidote, all right, to those odds that necessarily show up in your pursuit of success. It doesn't matter in what area. When you understand the framework that I'm going to share with you, you know how to expect the odds. You know not to get offended when the odds show up. You are empowered with the antidote to put the odds in their place, to beat the odds, and to succeed in spite of them. Isn't that something that you'd like to be a part of? Isn't that something that you'd like to learn? This is a 4-week program, and I'll be leading it live. There are, we'll be meeting every Sunday, I believe, for 2 hours, and I will walk you through that framework. So much so, by the time you are done, you would have built capacity in 4 weeks to handle the odds against your success in any area. So this is for anyone. If you think that this will benefit you, you can also check the link below. And also check the link, by the way, in the description area on my YouTube channel. I'm going to put particularly the YouTube channel. It may not be for those who are on Facebook, so you have it, the antidote. You see the link there. Go right away and begin, to secure your seat in that class. It's not a large class. So secure your seat early. Devote 1 month to it. If the odds have been working against you all this while, devoting 2 hours every Sunday for 4 weeks, interacting with me personally, shouldn't be a big deal for you. But what I know, what is guaranteed, is that it would enhance your ability to realize your goals going forward. And at the end, if you participate in that program, there's something that is waiting for you at the end. All right. I won't say it until you get on that program. Something waiting for you, at the end, that has to do with me committing to you. But, I would leave that out. So I look forward to you securing your seat. You can share the link, invite your friends, let other people know. Help those in case you are not in that league, in case you are on top of your game already. What about those who are not on top of their game? They can use this knowledge. All right. They can, things can change for them. They can be transformed by the kinds of things that we're going to be discussing, all right, in that program. So go ahead and express love to others. Share what you believe will help them. Share what you believe will help them. Antidote is that masterclass. 4 weeks, everything will change. Your understanding will change. When your understanding changes, you know what the Bible says? It said, give me understanding and I shall live. Give me understanding and I shall live. People don't understand that secret. And I'll share with you another scripture that says, it said, whoever wanders away from the path of understanding will abide in the congregation of the dead. That means as long as you don't have understanding, whatever you are pursuing will result in failure. As long as you don't have understanding. So it's not about trial and error. It's not helpful. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. Go for understanding. That's why it says, wisdom is the principal thing. Get wisdom. But we always finish there. What does he say after that? He said, with all your getting, get what? Understanding. He said, get wisdom. But look at the emphasis on the second one. He said, with all your getting, that is, with everything you have, your resources, your time, your passion, your commitment, say, pursue understanding. Why? Because when you have understanding, you are set to live. When you have understanding, you abide in the congregation of the living, where things happen, where they get results, where there is distinction and differentiation. This is how it works, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it. Two of the programs you can check either now. You note the link, or check again later in the description area. For it, but it's going to be on the YouTube channel, not on the Facebook. So please go to the YouTube and check it out. Please share with others and let others be blessed also by it. Again, my name remains Olatunji Shobodu, and I want to thank all of you without exception who have joined today, who have made comments today. I have tried to showcase your comments so that people see that there are people that join this broadcast, and so that we can encourage more people to join and more people to learn, all right, from what we're sharing here, okay? And this is how we're going to address the leadership challenges that we have in the society at our different levels. This is how people must put themselves out there and learn this business they call leadership. Jesus himself had to learn it. He didn't just assume it. And one day I will walk you through. I'm developing a program to show you the stages, of leadership. That is how to lead in stages, learning from the model of Jesus. All right, learning from the model of Jesus. And that shows you he had to learn. He had to learn. It didn't come with it from heaven. He had to learn. If he had to learn, you and I have to learn. All right, and it isn't such a big deal. We can learn it so that we can do it and indeed be what we are expected to be to society, which is to add value, to be an instrument of real, genuine, true transformation. All right? That's our motivation here. And we at Emet Leadership Academy keep nurturing leaders based on truth. Enjoy a wonderful weekend. Don't forget, Leadership in 30 Minutes is coming up when? On Thursdays. Be on the lookout. I'm going to be speaking on an interesting subject. Let me show you. The bane of literates. The bane of literates. Why literate people struggle to succeed. Why literate leaders struggle to succeed. Same time on Thursday. And it promises to be very insightful. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked at the things that you would hear. All right, back to Antidote. And don't forget, New You, is the other program. And next week, I'll talk about yet another one, the character fast. But for now, it's Antidote. Thank you for joining me today. God bless you. Bye-bye.